This is my E46. It's leaking coolant because it's an E46. BMWs don't have a reputation for being reliable, but for what it's worth, the M54 in this is one of the more reliable engines ever produced. The problem is everything that's attached to the engine, in particular, the cooling system. So today, we're going to replace everything, starting with an EMP Stewart high-flow water pump, a Turner aluminum expansion tank, a BMW thermostat, and some other OEM goodies. With it up in the air, I can start disassembling. First, the airbox comes off, then you got to drain the fluids, you take off some radiator hoses, the fan comes out, the Blue Raz juice box comes out, then you can take the radiator out. You have pretty free access. You can get to thermostat housing with the lower rad hose, and you can also get to the water pump. Taking off the water pump is a bitch on a lot of cars, but thank you BMW for this design, because you can thread screws in on either side to like push it off. Makes it super easy. And getting the thermostat and new water pump back on is pretty straightforward. And by now the sky started raining literal ash because of a wildfire nearby, but fuck it, we ball. So it's on to assembling the radiator, and with the Nissan's radiator, you gotta swap the petcock for like the automatic one, then you can put the new expansion tank on, put it on the radiator, and you can slide that whole thing into the front of the car. I started to get the plumbing up this day, and I got pretty much everything connected, but I didn't put the electric fan back in until the next morning. So the next morning I put the fan back in, got all the plumbing set, and at this point, with everything tight, all I gotta do is put in the airbox, the front scoop, and I can bleed the system. And after 2 days of work and spilling enough coolant to blind a village, you guessed it, my brand new radiator was leaking. And you know what that means. That means I gotta do everything all over again. Everything's gotta come off all the way down to the radiator, the new coolant expansion tank, all the new hoses. I gotta redrain everything and get new coolant. But hey, the second time around, it was a lot faster. I got it off in like 30 minutes. Had to take the little kind of bracket thing off the bottom of the new radiator, put it back on my old radiator, get all the plumbing back together again. And what do you know? At least my E46 is working great now. The cooling system, anyways. Do not look at that service engine soon light. But look at that temp gauge. It's standing straight up.